Hello everyone and welcome to the Teaspoon. Today I'm starting a new series, a new format. We are trying to show you the good games, the good old games, rather be called, but not every time the good old game gets ported enough to the current generation and can be pain in the ass. And in this series, Forwards to the Past, we will show you the games that are very well optimized for multi-core CPUs, for modern computers, and for most of the PCs. Because back then, when the games were released, there was nothing like multi-core, there was nothing like SLI or Crossfire. So the engine depended on one core or single core and can't understand the 64-bit architecture of the systems. So, first of all, I would like to speak about the awesome boards, the awesomely optimized games for PC. I'm speaking solely about PC, alright? The first one is Deus Ex. Deus Ex have been well optimized for current gen of the computers. It still nails the thing it nailed in the past, and that is the awesome replayability. The augmentation. You might know this from the Human Revolution. If you liked Human Revolution, you would love the first Deus Ex. However, do not play the second one, because the second one is just pile of crap. It's a buggy mess, and the only reason I played it, and I played it recently because my old computer couldn't run it. And my old computer was 6 years younger than the game. Yeah. Because it was multi-core, it couldn't run the Deus Ex, and I have to optimize it on my own, which was pain in the ass, and the optimization took me more than the game. And the only reason why I played it was because I really loved Deus Ex in the first place. And I have to admit, Invisible War, not such a great title. But it's a thing with Deus Ex. I mean, every odd Deus Ex, every odd installment sucks, and every even is good. You got first Deus Ex, awesome. Training the Liberty Island doesn't feel like training. It feels like wall mission, but it taught you the way of using augmentations. It taught you in such tremendous way. I never seen that before in the game. Never before. Not even after. And we're speaking about game that was released a while ago. Let me see when it was released. It was released in 2000. Yeah. It was released pretty much 15 years ago, and it still beats most of the current gen AAA titles. Deus Ex The Fall included. So this game really is really worth your money. It's worth your time. You can see a little bit of sneak peek on the video, but the game itself is much more amusing, and it's one of those games that don't have the value in a Let's Play, so I will not Let's Play it, because the value of the game is your own playthrough. The next game on the awesome port is Baldur's Gate, and I'm speaking about the Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. It first was meant for iOS. So I was a little bit scared of the PC port, but they all nailed it. They nailed it in such a way that you can install it and run it straight away, which is not that often in old games. Definitely not, and you will see it later on. I will tell you about the later on issues I had with other games. So the Baldur's Gate, it is a really good game. If you are into Dungeons and Dragons, if you are into this, you will love Baldur's Gate. It's one of the best games I've ever played from top-down perspective. It doesn't beat Fallout for me, because I'm not that much into the fantasy as I'm into sci-fi or post-apo, but Baldur's Gate really is really good game, and I recommend it. The value of this game is that you can create your character pretty much every time. Really original character. You can create so many combinations of characters. You can multi-class to the infinite level pretty much. There's no limitations well, there are limitations, but they are so far away that when you caught up with them, you're already bored with the game. So every playthrough is a new game. So again, replayability, and also really good combat system, which is not that often seen in turn-based strategies from top-down perspective, or turn-based RPGs. I'm sorry for misleading you there. You lead your team of 4 pretty much, and you get the companions through the game. The game can be pretty hard. This is one of the games where mage is really hardcore in the end game, but when you start, you're a scrub and pretty much rats can kill you. That's what is appealing to me, because I love being mage. I love to work to get my status as mage, which is the thing that Skyrim didn't give me. Next one is Sid Meier's Railroads. Now, yeah, this is pretty much off topic because the first one FPS shooter or FPS RPG pretty much. The first person shooter RPG, which is mind-blowing combination. Second one, hardcore RPG, the classic RPG that really nails your head. And the third one is a transport tycoonish game. Yeah. And why did I select this game? Because it's intuitive. You don't need any training whatsoever pretty much to get the hold of this game. It's like Transport Tycoon, but dumbed down to such a level that you can play it like a casual game, even though it's still challenging. This game does not cost you time. It's not waste of time because you can just play it for an hour and just go doing anything else, which is what I really value about this game. I love this game a lot. And when I'm tired of shooting or raiding or whatever else, I just play Railroads because it is relaxing game. It can be hardcore if you boost up the difficulty. It can be really hardcore, but the main feeling I have, the main emotion I have from this game is that the game is more casual for me, which is not that often seen on PC. And I'm not talking about the casual games on PC. I'm talking about a serious game that feels casual in a good way. Yeah, that doesn't happen that often. This game can be played seriously for 7 hours in one session and can really be hardcore. Or it can be played for 1 hour. That doesn't happen in Transport Tycoon, because the Transport Tycoon is not that casual. It's more of the management game. This one, the railroad building and stuff, it's easy. Trust me, it's so easy that I was blown away. And the port is really good. It's well optimized. It's available on Steam. I have it on Steam, so I can't speak about the other ports, but it is well optimized. You can just run it from scratch. And now to the mediocres. I will not talk about the bad ones because there are really a huge amount of bad games, so I will just highlight the good ones. Alright? The mediocres are really good games that are poorly optimized for today's computers, and you have to work your way through to play this game, which can just push away some people, and that's quite understandable. That would push away me as well. I hate setting up the game for 3 hours just to try it out. I hate that. It's not why I bought this game. I bought this game for the reason I want to play it, not for the reason that I want to tinker with it. Yeah, that's why I bought Minecraft. So the first one is unfortunately Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. Yeah, those are two games, but they have the same scenes, so I will refer to them as the one game. It is so poorly optimized for today's computers. Whoever owns the copyright, whoever owns the license, should think about himself, because it took me for 3.5 hours to figure out how to run this game in 1080p, full screen, without any color glitch, without any crashing, it was terrible. It actually made me want to dig out my old computer, my first computer, my Pentium 1, so I can play it. Yeah, that's how far I got. That's how desperate I got to play this game, because I love the Fallout. The Fallout is my most favorite game of all times. It's the game that started my gaming passion, because the Fallout nails one thing really well, and that's the thing that I value in the games most, and that's replayability. And even though this is a story-driven game, you can play it over and over and over, and you'll still find something new. Even now when I play it, I find something new. I've been playing for 10 years now. I've wasted over 200 hours in the game. I've finished that game for like 60 times. Yeah, there were few. I tried to blitz the game. I tried to do everything in the game. It doesn't let you. You can't do everything. That's the beauty of the game. The universe is beautiful. The lore is mind-blowing. I love the 60s theme in the future. I love how they nailed the aesthetics. I really like this. I like also the top-down view. It's not top-down, it's isometric, but the turn-based combat is really well made, but not as well as in Baldur's Gate. Combat here is really dumbed down to the level you aim, you shoot, you use your melee, or you reload, or you switch the weapon. That's pretty much it. Yeah, there's no spells or whatsoever. This is not Shadowrun Returns or Shadowrun at all. This is just Fallout. This is just a realistic version of your generic fantasy game. Yeah, the settings is after apocalypse in the year 2154, I believe. And I love how they just start the game with, yeah, our rotor chip broke, you have to go out to find a new one. It's not like in Fallout 3 when it's you have to find your father, you have to do you have to become the hero. No, there's like, yeah, you have to save us. We will not thank you, but we'll be happy that we are alive. But that's all it is. It's just the realism of the game, the sarcasm of the game. It really keeps me wanting to play this game. It really keeps me going in this game. And that is one of the things that are not that often in any games whatsoever. And don't let me start with Fallout 2. That's Fallout 1, but bigger. It's Fallout 1 with Skyrim scale of open world. Yeah, the graphics are simple. It's after all a game that was released in 1996 or 7, I believe, and Fallout 2 in 1998 or 9, I believe. So it is a really old game, and that's the reason why I put it in mediocres, because the optimization of this game is a pain in the ass. You have to download the mod. The mod that needn't work with you. It needn't work with your game. So you have to find another mod, another HD mode. It can't work as well. There's a ridiculous amount of mouse acceleration for some reason in the mod. It can't scale the size of the screen properly. So I recorded a few minutes of the Fallout, and the recording got corrupted because the frame rate was so variable that I cannot render the video. And that's the reason why I'm not doing the Fallout playthrough, because it was really hard to record it in the first place, and I couldn't be bothered to edit it afterwards. And last but not least is the game that got me into the fantasy. Yeah, what game? I actually played this game before Baldur's Gate. I played this game before Morrowind. I played this game before Oblivion or Skyrim or whatever else. This was the first game that I got into that was set into fantasy. I was at first against fantasy. I was the Mass Effect guy. I was the StarCraft guy. I never really been the Warcraft guy. Now I will offend a lot of you, but I never really played World of Warcraft. I tried it, but I never played it. I never got past level 3, I believe, which is like the training pretty much. No, Warcraft is not my thing. I love Hearthstone because Hearthstone is it doesn't have the Warcraft feeling, it just has the aesthetics, which I like about Warcraft, but I don't like the lore of Warcraft, yeah? Which is my personal opinion. I will not push this opinion to your face. However, this game is the game that resolved in my life into playing the Skyrim, into playing the Oblivion or Morrowind or Dragon Age or other fantasy games, which I wouldn't really play otherwise because the aesthetics, the setting wouldn't be appealing to me. And the game is Gothic. Now, why is it put in mediocres? Well, first of all, combat system. It is dated. The combat system is perfect. It is stable, it works well, but it's to get a hold of it, you have to play through half of the game when you get the hold of it, because it's dated. It's dated for today, and if you haven't played back then, you have no idea how to fight in this game. It's pretty much you hold your mouse button and then you press W, A, S or D for the thrust or defend or left slash or right slash. Depending on your weapon, they can be left hook, right hook, and uppercut, yeah? Depending on your weapon or your spell that you have equipped. And that pretty much got me... I couldn't play the game just before of this, and my friend had to explain to me how to play it. It's really hard to play. And don't get me into the inventory management. It's terrible. It's the worst inventory management I've ever seen. The using of the items is like Shift and W. Why? He could have done it with one button to open the chest or whatever. Yeah. So what's great about this game? Again, replayability. The leveling system is awesome. It's the best leveling system I've ever seen. Whenever you level up, you get certain points. You have to go to a trainer. You have to buy your skill. You have to buy it, but you need learning points in prior, so you can buy it. So you need two resources. You need the cash and you need the learning points, which makes you really think about how you spend your money. And in the end game you have enough cash, but you don't have enough learning points, because then the leveling... I haven't seen level cap in this game, but the leveling gets ridiculous. So when you start off, you need to think about your resources. You need to think about your money versus learning points versus the gear, and you have to level this out. You have to manage it. You can't just buy a great weapon that you cannot hold because your strength is too low. You can't just buy a great weapon that you can swing with, but you have not enough experience with the two-handed or one-handed combat, so you pretty much suck with that weapon. You have to manage it. You have to find the ideal weapon for your current level, for your current status, and you have to level up your gear with you. I haven't seen that in any game. Skyrim pretty much failed this. Skyrim gives you free skills, and that's pretty much it. When you use one-handed weapon, you get free skills. That's what Skyrim gives you. I don't like that system. Yeah, it is appealing to me because it's more realistic. You use the weapon, you get a hold of it, but it's not that appealing to me as in this game. And the leveling system in this game should be inspiration to other games. Right, this is all from me today. Tell me in the comments if you like this series, if you like this format. I love old games. I really love old games. So if you find this series either amusing or informative, just tell me in the comments below and I will keep going. If not, then I will not do this series anymore. This is just trying out a new format. So just be reasonable with your comments. And thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, click the like button, share it, and if you really like the stuff we do, just subscribe. Alright guys, I see you next time.